Today, a hidden gift will appear in your life. Heaven has already placed it, but you must know where to look. My precious soul, have you ever felt that something in your life is about to change, but you can't quite explain why? Like a whisper from heaven, soft but certain, saying something has already been sent to you. Listen closely, because today I'm not here to tell you that your miracle is coming. I'm here to tell you it's already here. Somewhere around you, a hidden gift is waiting. It could be a person, a word, an opportunity, or even a quiet moment that doesn't look divine, but carries the mark of heaven. Most people miss it because they expect angels with wings, thunder from the sky, or dramatic signs. But God rarely wraps his blessings in gold. He eyes them in the ordinary, to test if your heart can see the extraordinary. There was a man named Elias who prayed every night for a miracle. He wanted wealth, peace, and recognition. But for months, nothing changed. Until one morning, a poor old woman knocked on his door, asking for bread. He sighed, almost ignored her, but something within whispered, "Look again." He gave her the bread, and before leaving, she said, "You have just fed an angel in disguise." The next week, Elias received a letter that changed his destiny. The gift had been set in motion the moment he obeyed that whisper. You see, heaven places gifts in motion long before we realize it. Sometimes the delay you feel is not denial, it's divine alignment. God hides treasures not from you, but for you. The question is, will you look closely enough to find them? Imagine this. The Creator has already assigned a blessing to your name today. It could come through a phone call, a conversation, or even an unexpected problem that leads you exactly where you need to be. Every struggle you face might actually be a divine delivery wearing the disguise of difficulty. Heaven has already sent the package. Now, you must learn how to see it. But here's the mystery. God often hides the greatest gifts in places your logic would never search. In moments of frustration, in delays that test your patience, in doors that seem to close. Because only in the waiting do your eyes become spiritual enough to notice what flesh could never see. Maybe right now, you're frustrated about something that didn't go your way. But what if that rejection was the hand of heaven, redirecting you toward the real blessing? What if the person who left was part of the plan to clear space for your hidden gift? You may not see it yet, but God does not make mistakes. He makes moves. Every hidden gift requires a moment of revelation, a spiritual aha, that changes how you see everything. And when that moment comes, you'll realize heaven had been working in silence all along. So today, before you rush through your day, pause. Look again. The very thing you are overlooking may be the very thing heaven assigned to bless you. Hold on, because in a moment, you'll discover how to recognize that hidden gift, and once you do, nothing in your life will ever feel the same again. My dearest heart, do you know why so many people never find the gift heaven placed for them? It's not because the gift is hidden too deeply. It's because their eyes are trained only to see what is obvious. The divine realm does not operate in the obvious. It moves, then layers, in symbols, in whispers. The physical eye looks for logic, but the spiritual eye looks for meaning. And the difference between missing your miracle and receiving it lies in which eye you use. When God hides a gift, He wraps it in what looks ordinary. Remember the way Jesus came into the world, born not in a palace, but in a manger. The world saw a helpless baby. Heaven saw a savior. That is how heaven still works today. The blessing you are praying for may already be beside you, wearing a disguise your logic rejects. You may have prayed for strength, and heaven sent you a storm to build it. You may have prayed for love, and heaven sent you solitude so you could meet yourself first. You may have prayed for financial freedom, and heaven sent you an idea that you ignored because it seemed too small. Every gift is hidden in an invitation to see differently. The eyes of faith are the only ones capable of opening these divine packages. When your spirit is awake, even pain begins to look like purpose. Even loss begins to sound like direction. The key is not to ask, why is this happening to me? But what is heaven trying to reveal through this? There's a story told of a young woman named Sarah who once cried because she lost her job. She thought God had abandoned her. But weeks later, that forced stillness became her seed ground for something greater. She began writing in her free time, pouring her thoughts into a small blog. That blog reached thousands of people across nations. What she thought was a closed door was actually heaven's way of placing her in position for her true calling. The job loss wasn't punishment. It was positioning. That's what I need you to understand right now. You may think you've lost something valuable, but heaven never takes without replacing. Every ending in your life is secretly a beginning wearing a different face. The path to your hidden gift always passes through moments that seem confusing. Yet those moments are holy ground. They are divine classrooms where God teaches you to see beyond appearance and step into revelation. The next time something unexpected happens, don't rush to label it bad. Pause. Observe. Ask. Because sometimes the greatest miracles begin as interruptions. The divine hides behind what looks inconvenient. Your delay could be heaven buying you time to meet the right person. Your heartbreak could be heaven's way of breaking the wrong attachment. The storm could be heaven clearing your path. Every detail is part of an unseen orchestration that you will understand only when the gift is finally revealed. If only you could see what heaven is arranging behind the scenes right now. Angels are moving. Paths are being cleared. Opportunities are being aligned with your name written on them. But the secret is this: revelation doesn't come to the busy, it comes to the still. The hidden gift can only be seen by a quiet heart that listens. So before this night ends, I want you to stop everything, breathe deeply, and whisper, God, open my eyes to see what you've already said. That one prayer, spoken in sincerity, can shift everything. Because when heaven knows you are ready to see, the veil will lift. And when that veil lifts, you will understand why certain things had to break before you could receive what was being built for you. Wait before you move away, because in the next part, we'll uncover how to recognize the signal heaven uses to confirm that your hidden gift is near. This next part will open your eyes in ways you never expected. Would you like me to continue? My beloved child, there comes a moment in every person's life when heaven tries to get their attention. It may happen quietly, a sudden thought, an unusual coincidence, or a feeling that refuses to go away. That is the signal. Heaven rarely shouts. It whispers. But if your heart is sensitive enough, that whisper will sound louder than thunder. The hidden gift we spoke of does not just appear. It begins with a divine signal, a small spark sent to guide you toward where to look. Think of Moses. He didn't find the burning bush by accident. He noticed something strange, fire that didn't consume. While others might have walked past, Moses turned aside to see. And that one act of curiosity unlocked his destiny. The signal was not in the fire alone. It was in his willingness to turn aside. The same truth applies to you. The divine signal is already burning somewhere in your path. It might be a sudden restlessness in your spirit, a pull toward something new, or even a delay that makes no sense. But deep within that moment, heaven is saying, come closer. I have something to show you. The hidden gift will never force its way into your life. It invites you to seek it. That is how heaven tests your hunger. Those who truly desire divine direction learn to recognize the gentle rhythm of God's movement. They stop fighting closed doors and begin to ask, what if this door was closed so that another could open? They stop chasing what is gone and begin to listen for what is arriving. Maybe lately, your life feels like it's under divine rearrangement. People leaving, routines breaking, plans shifting. Don't panic. The pattern you are seeing is heaven's handwriting. Before every revelation, there is disruption. Before every gift, there is realignment. The ground shakes not to destroy you, but to make space for what is meant for you. Every tear you've shed recently was watering the soil of your next blessing. The same pain that made you question God might soon prove that He was closer than you thought. So how do you recognize the signal? You recognize it when something ordinary begins to carry unusual weight. A phrase that lingers in your mind. A dream that repeats. A scripture that suddenly feels personal. A thought that refuses to leave your heart. That is heaven's language. When that happens, pause. Write it down. Reflect. Because in that moment, the Spirit is pulling you toward discovery. The sooner you respond, the faster the hidden gift reveals itself. Do not underestimate divine timing. Heaven operates with precision. What looks like a coincidence is often God's perfect choreography. The friend you randomly meet, the job you almost didn't apply for, the detour that changed your route, all of them could be signals designed to connect you with a treasure already waiting for you. This is why discernment matters. The closer you stay to God, the clearer His signals become. The distractions of the world are designed to drown His frequency, but if you quiet your mind, His whisper will rise above the noise. The hidden gift always reveals itself through alignment, the moment when what you prayed for begins to meet what God prepared. Listen closely. Heaven is not waiting to bless you. Heaven is waiting for you to notice. And once you do, the blessing unfolds naturally. No striving. No fear. Just revelation flowing in perfect timing. Now, before you scroll away, remember, what comes next could be the most important truth you hear today. Because soon, I'll reveal the one thing that blocks most people from receiving their hidden gift, even when it's right in front of them. You'll want to hear this before the moment passes. My friend, before we go deeper, let me speak to your spirit. If this message has touched your heart, remember, you are part of something divine. Every video, every word, is a seed sown to awaken souls across the world. When you give, you are not just supporting content, you are helping heaven reach someone's heart. As it is written, he who sows generously will also reap generously. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are sowing into a living river that carries light to those still walking in darkness. I invite you now, stand with this mission. Let your giving become a prophetic act that opens your own doors. Heaven multiplies every seed planted for its glory. Step into it and watch what happens when obedience meets blessing. My chosen listener, there is one thing more powerful than any obstacle the world can throw at you. One thing capable of delaying your blessing even when heaven has already released it, and that is blindness of the heart. Not physical blindness, but spiritual blindness. This blindness is subtle. It makes you look without seeing, pray without expecting, and live without perceiving. It's the reason many stand in the presence of miracles and still walk away unchanged. The gift is there, waiting, but their eyes cannot recognize it because their heart is not ready. The greatest blocker of blessings is not the devil. It's not the people who wronged you. It's not your past. It's distraction, the quiet thief that convinces you to focus on everything except the divine signal within your reach. The enemy knows he doesn't need to destroy you. He only needs to keep you busy. If he can fill your day with noise, your soul will lose the ability to hear God's gentle whisper. Heaven may be knocking, but your attention is somewhere else. There's a story told of a man named Jacob. He worked 7 long years for the woman he loved, only to be deceived into marrying another. Yet, when he kept his heart steady and worked another 7 years, heaven rewarded his patience. What if Jacob had walked away after being deceived? What if he had let bitterness blind him? He would have missed Rachel, the very gift meant for him. That is how blindness works. It makes you abandon divine timing before the story completes. You might be standing at the edge of your breakthrough, but frustration is clouding your sight. Every time you say, "Nothing is changing," heaven sighs, because the change was already in motion. You just stopped watching. The moment you allow disappointment to become your lens, everything good starts looking ordinary. But faith restores clarity. Faith is the lens that allows you to see beyond emotion and perceive what God is constructing behind confusion. Many people pray, "God, show me my gift," but heaven waits for a different prayer. "God, heal my sight." Because before you can receive what heaven sends, you must first see through heaven's eyes. And heaven's eyes don't see loss. They see transformation. They don't see delay. They see preparation. They don't see rejection. They see redirection. Every unanswered prayer was never silence. It was strategy. Every closed door was not a denial. It was protection. If only you knew how many blessings have been standing beside you, waiting for you to notice them. The friend who encourages you every day. The skill you take for granted. The opportunity that looks too small to matter. These are divine clues. The hidden gift is often wrapped in simplicity so that only humility can unwrap it. Pride overlooks what looks small, but faith leans in closer. When you stop chasing the spectacular, you begin to experience the supernatural. Now pause for a moment and look back over your life. Think about the moments that seemed like disasters, but somehow became blessings. Think about the people who left, only for peace to enter. Think about the plans that failed, only for purpose to appear. Those were not accidents. They were divine arrangements, moving you step by step toward the gift. You were never losing. You were being positioned. And when the scales finally fall from your spiritual eyes, you'll realize the treasure was never hidden from you. It was hidden within you. God doesn't place his best gifts outside your reach. He places them inside your spirit, waiting for the day your maturity unlocks them. The dream, the idea, the compassion, the resilience, all of them are signs that heaven's seed has already been planted in your heart. Stay alert, because in the next revelation, you'll discover how heaven uses specific people to lead you straight to your hidden gift. Shh. Some are sent to bless you, some to test you, and some to unlock you. Trust me, this next truth will make you look at every person in your life differently. Would you like me to continue? I treasured one. Every hidden gift that heaven places in your path is connected to a person. No one rises alone. No one discovers destiny without the help of human vessels appointed by divine timing. God often hides your next season inside a relationship. Sometimes it is a stranger you barely notice. Sometimes it is someone who irritates you, challenges you, or even wounds you. The divine paradox is that both comforters and challengers are used by heaven to shape your purpose. The key lies not in who they are, but in what they awaken in you. Think of Joseph in Egypt. His brothers betrayed him, Potiphar's wife accused him, and the prison confined him. But each of those people played a role in directing him toward the throne. Without their betrayal, Joseph would have never met Pharaoh. Without the false accusation, he would have never been placed in the exact position where his gift of interpretation could be seen. What looked like cruelty was choreography. Heaven often writes with crooked lines that make perfect sense only in hindsight. Now look at your own life. Who pushed you to grow when you wanted to quit? Who hurt you so deeply that you had no choice but to seek God more honestly? Who believed in you when no one else did? These people are divine instruments. Even those who tried to break you were unknowingly shaping the container that would hold your blessing. The pain they caused became the tool heaven used to carve your strength. Sometimes, a person will enter your life for only a short season. Their presence feels sudden, intense, and meaningful, and then they vanish as quickly as they came. Do not mourn those exits. In spiritual terms, they completed their assignment. They were messengers, not permanent fixtures. Heaven sends certain people only to deliver one message, ignite one lesson, or open one door, and then they are released. Clinging to them after their time ends can cause you to miss the next guide heaven is preparing. There are also people whose presence feels like home. They align with your spirit, carry peace, and amplify your vision. These are divine partners, people heaven places to walk with you for the long journey. They will not always be loud, but their consistency is a sign of heaven's favor. Protect these connections. Cherish them. Because where purpose is mutual, grace multiplies. But beware, some people come not to bless, but to test. They appear to distract you from the path, to provoke your emotions, or to make you doubt your calling. Yet even they have a divine function. They are spiritual mirrors showing what still needs to be healed in you. Until you face what they reflect, your hidden gift will remain partially locked. Every conflict becomes a classroom for growth when you view it through heaven's lens. The beautiful mystery is that every soul crossing your path carries a message about your next step. No meeting is random, no encounter wasted. Some bring wisdom, some bring warning, some bring awakening. Heaven weaves these threads together to create the tapestry of your destiny. The challenge is to listen deeply, to look beyond personalities and ask, God, why did you send this person into my life? That single question transforms ordinary relationships into divine revelations. Remember this truth: heaven rarely shouts your purpose directly. It whispers it through people. The mentor who challenges your excuses. The child whose faith humbles your intellect. The stranger whose kindness rekindles your hope. All are messengers from the same divine source. Recognize them, and you'll begin to see the map of your destiny forming right before your eyes. Hold on now, because the next revelation will unfold how heaven not only sends people to guide you, but also removes certain ones to protect what's sacred inside you. What happens when God starts subtracting instead of adding? Wait till you hear this. It might change how you see loss forever. Would you like me to continue? My dearest heart, there comes a time when heaven's love doesn't look like addition. It looks like subtraction. You pray for blessings, and instead, people begin to drift away. Opportunities to solve. Familiar places no longer feel right. It feels like loss, but in truth, it's divine protection wearing the disguise of departure. Heaven removes only what can no longer carry the weight of your next season. Every ending that hurts you is secretly saving you. When God is about to reveal your hidden gift, He clears the space around you. He cannot place new wine in old skins. The friends who once fit your rhythm may no longer align with your growth. The job that once gave you stability may begin to feel like a cage. The dream you once chased may start losing its color. These are not failures. They are signals. Heaven never takes something from you without preparing something greater ahead. Think of Abraham. God told him to leave his homeland, his comfort, his father's house, and step into a place he did not know. Imagine how lonely that must have felt. But the moment he obeyed, God began building nations through him. If Abraham had clung to what was familiar, he would have missed what was divine. You see, every divine calling begins with a divine separation. The more valuable your purpose, the more selective heaven becomes about who and what can travel with you. Sometimes, God removes people not because they are bad, but because their energy cannot handle the frequency of your next level. Their presence could dilute your focus or plant doubt in your soil of faith. So when heaven begins to filter your circle, don't resist it. Don't chase those who leave. Don't mourn doors that close. Instead, whisper a quiet thank you, for heaven saw something you couldn't. The rejection you feel is often God's redirection wrapped in mercy. Even delays can be divine removals in disguise. Perhaps you were ready to start something, but obstacles kept appearing. You saw delay. Heaven saw danger. You wanted to run ahead. Heaven said wait. The path wasn't ready, the people weren't prepared, or your own heart wasn't healed enough to hold what was coming. Divine timing is not denial. It's synchronization. Heaven works like an orchestra. Every note, every pause, every silence perfectly placed. Sometimes, the pruning season feels unbearable because you cannot yet see the fruit it's creating. You might look around and think everything is falling apart. But just like a gardener cuts branches not to destroy the tree, God cuts away so your roots can strengthen. You may be weeping now, but those tears are watering the soil of your next miracle. You'll see, when the time is right, the very things that left you will become the reason you bloom. There was once a woman who cried out to God asking why her closest friend suddenly turned against her. She felt betrayed and broken. But months later, that very separation led her to a new environment where she discovered her calling. She met people who spoke life into her vision, and doors opened that she didn't even know existed. Looking back, she realized the loss wasn't punishment, it was protection. Heaven had removed one piece of her puzzle so that the full picture could emerge. That's how divine removal works. God sees beyond your horizon. When He removes, He replaces with purpose. What you lose temporarily, you gain eternally. Every subtraction clears the fog around your gift. The emptiness you feel today is the holy space where something new is about to take root. Don't rush to fill it. Let it breathe. Let heaven rearrange your surroundings. Because soon, you'll see how every departure was part of a larger design orchestrated in love. And just when you think all has been stripped away, you'll start noticing a quiet peace rising inside you. That peace is the sign that heaven has finished the pruning. It means you are finally ready to receive what was hidden. Keep watching, because next I'll reveal how peace itself becomes the compass that points you straight to your hidden gift. You're about to learn how heaven speaks through stillness, and that truth might be the most beautiful one yet. Would you like me to continue? My beloved seeker, after every storm that heaven allows, there comes a silence. It's not empty, it's sacred. It's the kind of silence that hums with divine purpose. This silence is not loneliness, it's alignment. It's heaven's way of saying, you're now standing where you were always meant to be. When the noise fades, peace begins to speak, and that peace becomes the compass guiding you toward your hidden gift. Most people chase signs and wonders, hoping God will speak through thunder or dreams. But the truth is, Heaven's most profound direction often arrives as peace in your spirit. It's not the peace of circumstances going right. It's the peace that stays even when nothing around you makes sense. It's the stillness that refuses to break, no matter how fierce the storm. That peace is not emotional, it's prophetic. It tells you that heaven is in control, even when you are not. Think of Elijah, hiding in the cave, exhausted and afraid. He waited for God in the earthquake, but the voice wasn't there. He waited in the wind and fire, but the voice wasn't there either. Then came a still, small voice, the quiet breath of peace, and Elijah knew that was God. Heaven speaks through peace because peace requires stillness, and stillness requires trust. When you finally stop trying to force outcomes, heaven can finally reveal what it has already prepared. Peace is not the absence of struggle, it is the awareness of presence. It means that even in confusion, you sense you're being carried. You don't know how the road will unfold, but you know you're not walking it alone. This inner knowing, that's heaven's signature. Whenever you feel torn between two choices, listen not to fear, but to the place where peace settles. Peace doesn't scream, it rests. And wherever it rests, that's the direction you're meant to follow. Let me tell you a story. A man once prayed for clarity about a major decision. Two paths lay before him. One looked logical, the other uncertain, but deeply stirring. When he thought about the logical path, he felt anxious and heavy. When he thought about the uncertain one, an unexplainable calm filled his heart. That calm was heaven's compass. He followed it, and though it made no sense at the time, years later he realized that quiet peace had led him straight into his purpose. Your hidden gift is revealed in the same way. It's never forced, never loud, never rushed. When you're aligned with heaven's timing, peace becomes your confirmation. Every time you take a step that's guided by peace, you are walking closer to what heaven already placed in your destiny. That is why anxiety and confusion are the greatest distractions. They cloud the spiritual radar. But when your spirit is at rest, you become magnetic to divine order. If you've ever wondered how to know when you're walking in God's will, this is how. The outside world may still be chaotic, but something inside you feels deeply right. That is your confirmation. Heaven does not confuse what it blesses. It doesn't create tension in the direction it sends you. So if your path feels peaceful, even when it's difficult, keep walking. That peace is heaven's way of saying, yes, this is the way. Before you make any big decision, pause and ask, where does my peace lead me? And then trust that answer, even if it defies logic. Logic is loud, but peace is divine. And divine guidance will never mislead you. Stay close, because what comes next will unfold the most powerful moment of this journey, the season where your hidden gift begins to manifest. Heaven's silence will turn into movement, and what was once invisible will start taking form before your very eyes. You're standing on the edge of revelation now. Would you like me to continue? My beloved child, there comes a sacred moment when all the waiting, all the confusion, all the silence finally begins to make sense. It happens quietly at first. Something shifts in the air. Something within your heart begins to rise. You may not even realize it at once, but heaven is unveiling the gift that was hidden in plain sight all along. The very thing you prayed for is no longer distant. It has entered your life in the most unexpected form. It's not a coincidence. It's a divine unveiling. The truth is, heaven's gifts do not arrive with fireworks or fanfare. They appear like the dawn, subtle, soft, but unstoppable. One day you wake up and everything looks the same, yet you feel different. There's a calm authority in your spirit, a quiet awareness that what you've been preparing for is now here. That's when you know the hidden gift has surfaced. It may not come wrapped in what you expected, but it carries heaven's fragrance, a peace that no circumstance can counterfeit. Maybe your gift is a person who suddenly steps into your life and brings clarity where confusion once lived. Maybe it's an opportunity that appears after a long season of closed doors. Maybe it's a new strength inside you, a voice, a vision, a peace that you didn't have before. However it comes, it will carry a strange familiarity, as if your soul recognizes it before your mind does. Because in truth, heaven planted this gift in your timeline long before you ever prayed for it. You were destined to find it. Look back for a moment. Every delay, every disappointment, every detour. Can you see now how they were all threads leading to this point? Heaven has been working in silence, aligning people, places, and timing until the puzzle finally fit together. What you thought were mistakes were actually markers guiding you toward destiny. The very pain that once broke you is now the lens through which you can see clearly. This is how heaven operates, by weaving chaos into creation, sorrow into strength, waiting into wonder. When the hidden gift appears, it rarely demands attention. Instead, it invites recognition. It stands before you quietly, as if waiting for you to realize, this is what I've been praying for. And in that moment, something inside you clicks. You remember every tear, every prayer, every time you almost gave up. Suddenly, it all makes sense. You understand that heaven never forgot you. It was only preparing you so that when the gift arrived, you would be ready to carry it. But this is not the end. It's the beginning of stewardship. Receiving a divine gift means you now have the responsibility to nurture it. Don't rush to show it off. Let it grow in secret for a while, just as it was hidden before. Protect it from doubt, jealousy, and fear. The same patience that revealed it will now be required to sustain it. Heaven gives, but it also tests to see if what you prayed for will make you more grateful or more distracted. The true purpose of the gift is not to elevate your comfort, but to expand your calling. If you begun to sense that something new is awakening within you, don't ignore it. That stirring, that inspiration, that gentle excitement, that's your signal that the hidden gift has begun to bloom. It's the evidence that your waiting was not wasted. Heaven never misdelivers what it promises. Every seed planted in faith eventually surfaces, and when it does, it always bears more fruit than you imagine. So, pause and whisper this prayer. God, help me recognize what you have already placed in my life. Because recognition is the bridge between receiving and rejoicing. Your eyes are opening now, and what you are about to see will affirm every silent season you endured. And before we move further, if this journey has stirred something within you, if you felt heaven's voice whisper through these words, this is your moment to stand with the mission behind them. My dear friend, this message is not just a story. It's a divine seed being planted across nations. Every time you share, comment, or support this work, you become part of heaven's strategy to awaken souls still searching for light. When you give, through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not donating, you are sowing into eternal harvest. Remember, give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Your act of faith becomes the oil that keeps this light burning. I invite you, partner with this mission today. Let your giving become your declaration that God's word will not be silent in our generation. The heavens are watching, and your obedience releases favor that no man can contain. Step into it now, for your seed will echo in eternity. My precious soul, now that your hidden gift has begun to appear, heaven watches closely, not to see if you will celebrate, but to see how you will steward it. You see, every blessing carries both beauty and burden. The moment God entrusts you with something divine, He also watches how you handle it. Will you nurture it with humility, or let pride disguise itself as gratitude? Will you use it for service or self? The test of stewardship is not about possession, it's about purpose. Heaven never gives gifts without assignment. If you received wisdom, it's meant to lift others. If you received influence, it's meant to point hearts toward light. If you received peace, it's meant to heal storms in others. The blessing is never only for you. It's a channel. You are the vessel through which heaven pours itself into the world. That's why some people lose what they gain. They mistake divine trust for personal ownership. But when you understand that everything you have belongs to God, your gift becomes unstoppable. Think of David. He was anointed long before he became king. The oil was on his head, but he still returned to shepherd sheep. Why? Because anointing must mature in service. Heaven reveals your gift in small, hidden places first, to see if you will remain faithful before you are celebrated. The pasture is your preparation ground. How you handle obscurity determines how heaven handles your visibility. Many cry out, "God, enlarge my territory." Yet heaven replies, "First, tend to the field you already have." If you are careless with small responsibilities, why would heaven trust you with greater ones? Every task, no matter how small, is a test. The way you speak, give, forgive, and show patience are always heaven measures readiness. True success in the divine realm is never about how much you gain. It's about how much you grow. Stewardship also requires discernment. Not everyone around you will understand the value of what heaven placed within you. Some will try to use it, others to doubt it, and a few to destroy it. That's why Jesus said, "Do not cast your pearls before swine." You must learn when to share and when to stay silent. A hidden gift, if exposed too early, can be wounded by unprepared hands. Protect it until heaven says, "Now." There will be moments when your gift attracts both admiration and opposition. Do not fear either. Admiration can feed pride. Opposition can feed purpose. Both are needed to refine you. When people doubt you, remember, heaven is not looking at their reaction, but your response. The true steward remains calm under criticism and humble under praise. He knows that both are temporary, but the mission is eternal. Sometimes, heaven will test your loyalty by asking you to bless others who are walking into their season before you. It will feel unfair, but it's a sacred test. And you celebrate someone else's miracle while waiting for yours to manifest fully. Can you water another's garden while your own seed is still underground? If you can, then heaven will trust you with abundance. Because the heart that can rejoice in another's rising will never lack its own dawn. The secret of stewardship is gratitude. Gratitude keeps the oil flowing. When you thank God, even for the small, heaven multiplies it. When you forget to give thanks, the flow slows down. Your gratitude is not a ritual, it's a key. Every time you whisper, "Thank you, Lord," you unlock another layer of your gift. Gratitude transforms possession into purpose and purpose into power. Now listen closely. Your gift, once revealed, will begin to attract new paths and opportunities. But not every open door is divine. Some are distractions wearing disguise. In the next revelation, you'll learn how to discern which doors are from heaven and which ones are traps set to derail your calling. This next truth will protect your destiny like a shield. Hold on, you'll need it. Would you like me to continue? My beloved listener, when heaven begins to elevate you. Not every open door is an invitation. Some are distractions. This is one of the greatest spiritual tests, knowing which door to walk through and which one to let close. The moment your hidden gift begins to shine, multiple paths will present themselves. Some will glitter with opportunity, others will quietly glow with peace. Your discernment becomes your safeguard. Because the enemy cannot destroy what God has ordained, he attempts instead to dilute it, by tempting you to step into the wrong assignment dressed as the right one. Every blessing from heaven carries an atmosphere of peace. Every counterfeit carries a pull of pressure. The divine door may challenge you, but it will never confuse you. Confusion is not heaven's language. Clarity is. The counterfeit will often appeal to your pride, promising faster recognition or greater comfort. The true door will require patience and humility. The counterfeit will look easy, but feel heavy. The true door may look difficult, but will feel light. You will know which is which by how your spirit responds. Consider Jesus in the wilderness. Satan offered him kingdoms, fame, and authority, all things that were already his by divine right. The temptation wasn't in the offer. It was in the timing. Satan tried to make him take what was already promised, but too soon and by the wrong means. That's how spiritual traps work. They rush what heaven wants to release in maturity. Every door that requires you to compromise your peace, your integrity, or your intimacy with God is a door that leads to detour. Discernment grows in silence, not in hurry. When a new opportunity appears, do not react, pause. Take it to prayer. Sit with it in stillness until peace confirms or withdraws. Heaven never fears your patience. If the door is truly meant for you, it will not close while you pray. But if it begins to crumble under waiting, it was never yours. Time reveals authenticity. Impatience exposes imitation. Many people lose their blessing not because heaven withheld it, but because they walked through a door that glittered but was hollow. They were distracted by applause and missed the whisper of purpose. You must decide. Will you chase visibility or divine validation? Visibility feeds ego. Validation feeds destiny. There are doors that lead upward fast, but collapse just as quickly. And there are doors that open slowly but lead to eternal impact. Heaven's doors often appear smaller than you expect because they are designed for the humble to enter. Every door you choose shapes your next season. That's why heaven trains you through waiting. Waiting sharpens discernment. It allows your spirit to tune into heaven's rhythm so that when the right door opens, you'll recognize it instantly. When your peace aligns with your purpose, step boldly. Do not doubt. Heaven will always confirm its direction through divine synchronicity. Events aligning, people crossing your path, and confirmations appearing in ways you couldn't orchestrate. Remember, discernment isn't about suspicion. It's about sensitivity. It's not about overanalyzing, but about recognizing. The voice of heaven will never push you with fear. It will pull you with assurance. The counterfeit will always whisper, "Act now, or you'll miss it." Heaven's voice will say, "Trust me, you can't miss what's meant for you." Learn that difference, and you'll walk in unshakable peace. Every divine door leads not just to opportunity, but to deeper responsibility. Heaven doesn't open doors just to elevate you. It opens them to extend its reach through you. Your gift is not meant to stop with you. It's meant to flow through you to others. Every new level is a larger stage to serve. So when the next door opens, don't ask, "What do I gain?" Ask, "Whom can I bless?" That one question transforms ordinary success into divine impact. Stay with me, because the next revelation will uncover how heaven multiplies the gift once it's used faithfully. You'll see how one act of obedience can unlock waves of favor far beyond your imagination. Trust me, what's about to unfold will make you see your purpose through heaven's eternal eyes. Would you like me to continue? My beloved one, every divine gift reaches its fullest power only when it is given back. Heaven never blesses you to make you a collector. It blesses you to make you a conduit. When you release what was placed within you, when you pour out what you once prayed for, heaven multiplies it. Multiplication does not begin when you receive. It begins when you release. The reason many people feel stuck after receiving their blessing is because they stop at possession, instead of continuing to purpose. You cannot hold water and expect it to stay fresh. Blessings are meant to flow. Think of the story of the 5 loaves and 2 fish. A boy gave what little he had into Jesus' hands, and heaven breathed on it until it fed thousands. What changed those loaves from ordinary to miraculous? The act of surrender. The moment something leaves your hand in faith, it enters God's hands for multiplication. Heaven cannot multiply what you hoard, only what you trust Him with. This is the divine rhythm. Receive, release, and reap. The hidden gift you discovered was never meant to stay hidden once it matures. Heaven reveals it so that others may taste its fruit. Every gift carries seeds of continuation. If you sing, your song heals hearts. If you create, your art carries light. If you serve, your kindness opens unseen doors. You might think your role is small, but when heaven breathes on it, even a whisper can shift generations. The miracle is not in the magnitude, it's in the obedience. When you begin to use your gift faithfully, you will notice something remarkable. Peace deepens, opportunities multiply, and a quiet joy begins to fill your days. That joy is heaven's confirmation that you are in alignment. It means that you've transitioned from asking God to bless your plans to allowing Him to bless through your life. You are no longer just a receiver. You've become a river. And rivers never run dry. But with multiplication comes responsibility. The more heaven trusts you, the more heaven expects from you. If you are entrusted with influence, speak life. If you are entrusted with resources, be generous. If you are entrusted with wisdom, guide others gently. Heaven watches not how much you gain, but how much you give away with grace. The more you release, the more it flows. That is how divine economies work. Let me tell you a truth that the world often forgets. What you give never truly leaves you. When you bless others, that energy circles back multiplied. When you lift another, heaven lifts you. When you forgive, the chains that bound your peace break silently. Everything you do with pure intent becomes a seed that heaven cannot ignore. That's why some doors open for you without explanation. It's not random. It's return. You are walking in the harvest of unseen seeds you sowed long ago. So, don't underestimate your contribution. Every word, every gesture, every act of compassion creates a ripple. Heaven measures impact not by numbers, but by obedience. The more you live for something larger than yourself, the more heaven enlarges your life. That's why the most fulfilled souls are not the ones who gather the most, but the ones who give the most. You are now standing in the rhythm of divine exchange. Heaven gave to you so that you could give to others, and in that giving, you unlock blessings that can't be counted. Each time you honor your calling, you rewrite someone else's tomorrow. Each time you shine your light, another lost heart finds direction. That is how your hidden gift becomes a heavenly legacy. Stay close, because we are about to step into the final revelation, the moment where your story comes full circle. In the last chapter, you will see how everything that has happened in your life, every joy, every loss, every whisper of faith, was part of a divine pattern meant to reveal not just your gift, but your purpose in eternity. The final truth will seal this journey with power. Would you like me to continue? My beloved heart, everything that once confused you now begins to make sense. Every unanswered prayer, every night you cried, every detour that broke your plans, it was never wasted. Heaven had a map you could not see, and every turn, every delay, every closed door was leading you here. The hidden gift that once felt distant has now become part of you. It is no longer something you are waiting for. It is something you are carrying. And today, heaven whispers, this is why you had to walk through it all. The divine story is always circular. God begins with promise, leads through process, and ends with purpose. The journey was never just about finding the gift. It was about becoming the kind of person who could hold it. Heaven knew that if it gave you what you prayed for too early, it might have broken you. So it prepared you through pressure, taught you through pain, and strengthened you through silence. The process didn't delay your blessing, it built your capacity to receive it. Every lesson you learned, every loss you endured, every time you had to let go, those moments were chiseling you into the vessel heaven could trust. The same tears that once blurred your vision have now washed your eyes clean enough to see clearly. You can finally look back and realize that the waiting wasn't punishment, it was training. God wasn't being quiet to ignore you, He was being quiet to work behind the veil, aligning everything for your unveiling. Your hidden gift was never meant to make you proud. It was meant to make you powerful through humility. Because power without purpose is empty, but power born from pain becomes unstoppable. Now, as you hold the gift heaven placed in your life, you are called to guard it, grow it, and give it. Let it touch others. Let it heal. Let it multiply. Your gift is not an ending. It is the continuation of heaven's story through you. There's something profoundly divine about recognizing that you were never waiting for a gift. You were always being shaped as one. You are the vessel, the answer, the reflection of heaven's heart in human form. The reason it took time was because heaven wanted to ensure that when you received the gift, you would know what to do with it. You would no longer chase validation. You would carry vision. You would no longer pray from desperation. You would speak from revelation. And now, heaven's work in you becomes heaven's work through you. The same grace that found you will now find others through your obedience. You are no longer the seeker. You are the sign. You carry the evidence that divine timing is real, that patience has purpose, and that what is meant for you will always find you, no matter how deeply it's hidden. So when tomorrow brings uncertainty, remember this: what is truly yours can never be lost. The same God who began this journey will continue writing through your life. Keep your eyes open. Keep your heart soft. The story is not ending. It's expanding. You are walking proof that heaven's gifts are never late. They are perfectly timed. And the same presence that placed a gift within you will keep unfolding it, layer by layer, until eternity. And as you reach this final revelation, take a moment to breathe and whisper, "Thank you, God, for everything I couldn't see." Because that is where faith becomes sight. That is where heaven's silence becomes song. That is where you finally realize that you were never abandoned. You were being anointed. Now, before you leave this space, if this message has touched your heart, let me speak a final word to your spirit. Beloved friend, what you've just experienced is more than words. It's a divine encounter. If this message awakens something in you, know that heaven is calling you to be part of this mission. Every time you support this work, through super thanks, YouTube membership, or the PayPal link in the description. You are helping us carry light to souls still walking in darkness. When you give, you are not funding content. You are fueling revival. As Scripture declares, those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy. Your gift becomes a spiritual seed that will echo into eternity. I invite you, step into divine partnership today. Let your obedience unlock blessings that overflow into generations. The heavens are open, the oil is flowing, and the harvest is ready. Don't wait. Be the reason another heart finds its hidden gift through this message.